Good morning, everybody.
Yes, good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are.
Like wherever you at in the world. Glad you all are here with us today. We are, as always, the NFT addicts, whatever you want to call us. But we are still looking for NFTs and trying to find some of the and trying to stay in, make sure we stay in the good projects, but still trying to find some new projects for everybody. So it's always still exciting. I think just we keep going back and forth every week, like what we're gonna talk about this week. But like, there's so much that happens in a week. Sometimes it can be so much that happened in a doggone day.
That's right. Especially in the NFT space, you know how long a week can be. It's months, years. They'll say 4 months could be a year in the NFT space.
It really feel that way, cause it's amazing how we see all these doggone things move up so fast. Sometimes you're sitting there like, wow, did that move up like literally that quick in a day or two? I think we were talking about it earlier in some other training that even looking at the Clonex and stuff. If like what they were last week we were talking about, those were like $40,000 or $50,000. They're trying to make it back to 50, and then they jumped up to almost 70 something $1,000 this weekend. You're like, what is going on? Who are these people that's buying all this stuff? But there's definitely still people. I know always people always talking about, well, there's who's buying this stuff. Trust me, people are buying the stuff, whether you think so or not. And because the cost may be something that you might not spend, there are still other people within the NFT space who are actually, even whether they're new or not, they're coming in and they're spending that kind of capital. Not to say that you have to spend that kind of capital. Obviously, some of the projects, if you get into some of them early, sometimes you can get into them for a couple $100s, and then they end up doing crazy stuff like they're doing now. And so, but let me go ahead and start sharing the screen. If you see me, I'm going to look over here, grab the screen. Here we go. Okay, just like we're here, also the scammers are also here. So I think it's important. It's getting. It's not. I shouldn't say it's getting. It's been, and I think we say the same thing about. We don't think people. Why are people scamming over here in the NFT space? They scam in regular life. We say the same thing, but it's just like they always keep trying to find something new to come up with to try to scam you even more. And so I know a lot of us who own Clonex end up getting this particular item in their wallet, and everybody's been tweeting about it.
Yep.
Literally.
Especially like you say, in markets where it's unregulated right now, a lot of things are in play. They're going to take advantage of that, and so it's you that have to protect yourself and do due diligence in the things that you're going to be connecting your wallets to, interacting with, especially in this space with everything built on smart contracts. So if you know you aren't supposed to be receiving an airdrop, definitely verify in those chats or Discords or Twitter pages that project has even sent you an airdrop. But yeah, scammers are out there. Don't interact with this tweet. A lot of people, if you have a Clonex item, you definitely have this now in your wallet. Per Clonex.
You like per.
Don't interact with any of them.
Because at first, some people should say, well, hey, you can go on and hide it. But I'm like, I don't even mess with it now. I know it messes up the flow of your wallet when you're trying to look at certain items. But at the same time, it's like even the tweet that came out on this one, they were like, well, hey, don't even try to hide it. Because, sometimes even interacting, trying to hide some of these things that are coming to your wallet can actually have something else in it to scam you another way. So it's hard. I get it. It's frustrating when you keep getting things in your wallet. You're like, well, I know I didn't buy that, but now you got to go through those items to get to your regular items. But it is what it is. It's just part of the NFT space, and we'll have to just keep trying to keep you informed as much as possible. So be very, very careful of what you're connecting your doggone wallet to, because you don't want to get scammed.
Because like I say, even people use airdrops to try to get you to know about their project. So it could be a legit project, but the risk of the legit project is you losing all your items. So if you don't know if the project is legit, just be safe and don't even interact with it.
They're good stuff. Okay, so that's that. Alrighty. And while we're talking about that, because I know a lot of people do come in and be like, well, hey, let me find out what your wallet is, and they start trying to track what you're either buying. And because it's stuff that we used to look at early, actually some months ago, as far as different people who are in the space, as far as what are they buying. But again, this is not something that most of the people, well, it's not anything that people who've actually bought a Clonex have gone out and bought. So make sure if you're going to be looking at anyone's wallet, sometimes it doesn't mean that they bought that particular item. Unless you know what you're doing, that's one of the fastest ways for you to lose money, because most times scammers are going to drop those things into people's wallet, which means you're going to think you can go buy it, and then no one else is going to want to buy it from you because it ends up being a scam item. So just wanted to add that little point to that. All right, let's keep on moving. This was the one-off. So So one of the Grammy Award things, with Quincy Jones, they're doing another. You can This one is a free one that you definitely can go on to one of, if you have this particular account. We've been talking about this particular site for some time. You definitely can go over here and claim this particular item. Again, if you started when we talked about it from the very beginning, you would have this account already. In a situation like this, it's not something that's necessarily even connected to your wallet. You can go on and log in and claim this free NFT. Okay. So that's that one.
Record music streaming profits highlight how NFTs will empower content creators, and which it's going to do. Different platforms already have a lot of content creators making a lot of money in different ways. And so, especially when it comes to music and the streaming profit, that's going to be eliminating that main your record label you're signed to, and they usually continue to get those funds. Now over here with the streaming profits you can get in the royalties, it's a whole nother level. So content creators, especially in the music industry, also definitely need to be paying attention to some of the NFTs and the opportunity that they have, especially when you're able to make royalties on your items.
Yeah. I mean, I think the music, and we haven't really, because we're not really been in music, but not that we're not in music, but music is still coming back. I know most of the time we talk about the fashion and the metaverse. That's one of the biggest things we've been talking about. But again, if you're an artist, this again is another opportunity, and you've just got to put the time in to learn it, because again, you have control of what you're doing, and I think that again that just keeps to keep empowering people to say, hey, you don't have to be dependent on whether it's your agent or whoever you're going to be trying to do as far as trying to get the royalties and stuff. It's like, get your own money. If you're obviously putting the work in, make sure you're going to capitalize the most. And I think that was one of the things that I found out even when we were at the NFT conference in LA. Most people were talking about, even if they made movies previously, it's like, you still had to go get all these permissions to be able to change, whether it's the lines and it's something that you wanted to perform. So here you have to ask nobody but yourself, which could be good and it could be bad. So it could be good, it could be bad. But again, I think, if you put in the time and, take control of what you have already, like I said, whether you're doing the art, the music, there is a lot of opportunity within the space for you to capitalize on making some very good money.
Especially if you're already creating the music already, and all you have to do is put it on the site or mint it. Those are minimum things and barriers that you can come in easily at to be able to sell that, as long as you have a community or a following too. So yeah, just do research and figure out how you can apply NFT to the things that you're currently doing.
Mm-hmm. Very good. All right, keep on moving. All right, Dennis Rodman. Now, Dennis, he could rebound. Y'all can't even talk about him. I know he's crazy sometimes, but listen, he might be crazy to you or not, but he is actually going to be having an NFT drop that's going to be coming out. It's going to be about $175 for this particular drop coming out on the 11th. And so of all his crazy hairstyles, I know everybody has seen the hairstyles. You'd be like, what? Who did that? But I don't think Dennis cares what you think. If you want my honest opinions, I don't think he really cares about what you think or what you say. And then here's going to be the Twitter site, as far as showing you some of the different hairstyles that you can possibly get, haircut, should I say. But again, we talk about it all the time of just how people are still continuing. They're already doing the stuff that they might have done some of these things previously. They're just doing what they normally do and figuring out a way how to capitalize within the NFT space. And so if you start trying to have an open mind within this space and start, like I said, maybe you're going to be the first one that's going to be creating something that might be different than what everybody else has done. But there's going to be a great opportunity for you to go on and do very well, and do very, very well. Okay, so that's going to be, that drop is going to be happening.
Candy, another drop they're going to be having for the MLB. If you can get in here, sometimes they are very valuable. If you can get some additions that are rare, depending on the rarity that they do have. Some of them, they may not be. The marketplace also still needs you to grow. We know this marketplace is still like 3% of people, so we need 97% of the people still to come into this space. And so if you are able to come over here, sometimes the packs range between $15 to $20 and even higher, but definitely the pack today, I believe, is around $15. So if you're already buying these, which we've told you about months ago, from even October.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. So yeah, you can definitely take advantage of still being able to get some of those NFTs, especially for of course, we do NBA Top Shots and other sports. You have UFC, so yeah, NFL. So this is now going to be the of course, the major league for baseball. So if you do want to come out and come out, if you do want to go to the platform,
where we going? Jessica, where we going?
If you do, you can go ahead and do that. Those will be today, I think, about 12 o'clock here in a little bit. So.
But it's good. It's good. I mean, our biggest thing is like we do definitely try to diversify as far as not being stuck in one particular thing. But I mean, and I know we say the same thing as far as when you're first buying some of these items, you're like, well, is it going to pay anything, or are you going to make any money? A lot of the things that we invested in early on took some time for them to get some traction. But once they get the traction, then you're kind of like, well, I guess I should have bought more. And so we trying to help you not be the people that we should have bought more than $9 NBA packs, but should have, could have, would have, but you just didn't. You were going off of what you had at the time. So again, another opportunity doesn't mean that these are going to move super fast or anything, but it is an opportunity for you to buy the packs. I always feel like just going your thoughts on in regards to packs versus coming in. I mean, what's your thoughts on that part?
Oh yeah, especially like you say, when they're coming out and they're just being released. We're trying to get things, especially at the collector's point of view. If you want to get some of the most rare items, you're going to try to start getting some of those packs and taking the chances. If you're getting like 5 cards in a pack and it only takes 1 to even cover the cost of that pack, or to cover the cost of that plus 5x, 10x, whatever it may be, it's still important to come in, be early into some of these projects, especially while the rarity and the count might be down. We know it's important with scarcity, and so we don't like when a card has 35,000 versus you're able to come in right now and get some with lower counts, so about 150, and they may even have 1,000 count cards, but take advantage of being so early, and there only been a small amount of people buying right now, and so that does help with the count. For making sure you have actual cards that are worth value down the line and reselling.
So, very good. So. Now we was laughing. Okay, listen. I know we opened up with the scammers, and now we're talking about the ledger, ledger, treasure, whatever gadget you're gonna have as far as a hardware type wallet. Again, we'll say the same thing. In regards to the wallets, make sure you're buying them directly from the sites. For me, and I think for many people, it's like trying to buy them from Amazon to save some change may not be the best idea in my thoughts for me.
Especially from Amazon.
Because and I guess so. And the reason why we say that, okay, so people who were like, well, listen, I order from Amazon every day for like other stuff, but it's not the ledger. So I don't have no problem with Amazon. But for us, just for security reason, as far as if someone had bought it from Amazon, because Amazon take everything back pretty much. Like you'd be like, I'm done. This didn't work out. We're just that extra paranoid crypto people that think, okay, well, if they returned it back and now they have my secret passphrase, it's repackaged. You may not even know that it was returned. Then what do you do if you put all of your crypto, you put your NFTs on that particular gadget? So again, if you're going to buy the gadgets, make sure you're buying them, directly from the site, whether it's a ledger or treasure, go to their direct site and buy it from them. That way, what you're really getting. But just like we when we bought some of the gadgets, we were sitting there thinking like, now they got one for NFTs. So,
NFT focus. Yes, NFT focus, and that's the main one I need. So, but yeah, and they did a release of these like the special edition last month. So I have a different one. But like I said, now I want to look into this one specifically, and to each their own on how they do protect their assets. Some people may have them in wallets and never accessing anything. Some people definitely still have them over here. You still have to do your due diligence no matter what. There are ways people can scam on both. So it's still about the user and you interacting with sites, or you knowing that phishing emails can come through, or even hackings to their sites that can release information. So we're excited, especially if they're coming to do NFTs or focusing on it. Not sure what other like added benefits it does have, but they did list at least one, and going to go to the site also to make sure, see what other features it may do for you. But depending on which way you're buying things or what assets you're buying, this is one to look out for. It may not be a lot of extra benefits, and it may be. So just definitely take the time to look out each device and see what's one to be best for you, depending on how much money you also or assets you're trying to protect their value.
Yeah. But it does talk about here on the software. You can't see some things, but you can do that also on the Ledger Live information. Because like I said, it is when you're trying to be as safe as possible. When you whether you have NFTs or your crypto, whatever you're trying to do, you become paranoid when you like, okay, you used to have it, you felt like you were secure on MetaMask, and you never really felt like you were secure, but you thought you were secure. And same thing whether you're using Trust, whatever wallet you're going to use. There's tons of wallets that you can use. You felt like you could at least see it, and then when you have to put it on a device, you'd be like, but I can't really see it. How am I going to see this thing and know that my stuff is still there? So,
I can't sell it if I needed to sell it immediately.
You do have that gadget
something happen and you can't even just get to it. So, yeah, maybe select items you want, and, everybody has to decide that for themselves.
Yep, that's very true. Because like I said, you do have to have the for some of the ledger, you have to have the gadget there in order to get those things to transfer. I know some people when we were at the conference, they were talking about, well, yeah, they were somewhere and they didn't have their little gadget with them, so they might have missed some airdrops of things. And so, but it's a matter, like I said, you're still trying to be so safe. But then sometimes being safe, like you don't want to travel with it. It's like, that's a no.
Yeah, I don't want to take it away.
For what? Defeats the whole purpose. So, like Jessica said, I think you got to have a strategy on how you're going to do what you need to do when you need to do it. I'm not going to disclose how I'm going to do what I need to do, not on no live stuff. So, but I think it's important, get your own strategy of how you're going to keep your stuff secure. And then also how you're going to, if you need to get to it to sell it, if you're sconed somewhere, what steps you'll take for that. Okay. So we'll leave that discussion there. Now, this was big. This is crazy.
Yeah, CDC's metaverse economy is large as 13 trillion by 2030. And like you say, we're buying now 20. We've been buying years now, and so you're looking at even trying to get to those time, which we say we're in it for the long term. Most of these projects, we know the ones that we're in, a lot of them are already created some great wealth, and looking for that generational wealth. As long as you're sticking to the right projects, they definitely can produce that, depending on what they have behind the project, tokenomics and other things like that. So definitely love to see numbers like that. When you're talking about in 8 years, it's going to be a $13 trillion industry, and you're already buying in it, and it's only 3% of you. So
I don't know what other numbers you need. Yeah, okay, you're 3% of 100%. That's actually good right there. And then to have some more money come in, the bad boy is going to be like, because it's really, like I said, I hate to keep harping on like some of the Clonex and some of those different things, but you look at in 4 months of how far those things have moved up. Imagine when you have more trillions of dollars coming into the space. And imagine as long as they keep doing what they say and they're going to do, the opportunity of capital that those things will what those will be. It is going to be mind blowing. I'm trying to read some of the chat too. So, okay, so that's good. But this is huge. I think again, if you've not gone into the metaverse and started looking at investing into the metaverse, it is something I think. Like I said, I'm not your financial advisor. I'm saying what I'm doing is I'm looking at the metaverse to try to figure out what's the next land game or whatever that you can invest into. Like I said, it doesn't have to be something where you're investing into thousands of dollars. There are some that you definitely can invest in for thousands of dollars, and those are some of the ones that are further advanced. But at the same time, there's still also some of the other ones that may be coming out even lower. But understand, you're going to have to hold those for a little while. They're not just going to just jump out for $100 and you think you're going to be like 1,000. There is possibility. I shouldn't say that.
Please learn to hold, because especially in this, they're building out, and technology is the one thing that, once it gets better, 5G, 6G, that's why all this is even happening with Web3 and everything. So with most of these projects, you're coming in at alpha and beta, and, they're still building out what they want to do. Even when it's coming to game projects, it takes years generally to build out, A quality plus games. So there's going to be a lot of games that's over here that even be looking to go to other ecosystems or devices like PlayStations and stuff. So it's important to know you are so early that most things you can't hold, but definitely you can have those items that flip, that keep that current liquidity coming in and having money to do what you need to do. But you're going to be holding if you know the true value. You should. If you look back, some people that sold like 2019 to if they would have sold even in 2021, you're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars. That was a difference depending on land and stuff that they bought. So it's important to know that time is the main thing you will have to give these assets. So plan that in budgeting when you are spending. Some things, of course, can be months, but some things are planned to be years. So You have to
I think people have a kind of a disconnect too, because like I said, most of the time for regular people that who aren't techie, like I'm semi techie, but I'm not techie. Let's be very clear. With the game aspect, when you start thinking about it takes 5 years, because I think everybody's like, this game's coming out and I just go to the store and I can buy it.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't really realize it. It took 3 to 4 years for them to keep creating that game. And now the next game was started that, the year after that one. And now it's coming out in year 4 and 5. So I think that disconnect is what really makes people figure out, as far as, when they come out and they come into the NFT space and they're like, well, they said that they're going to develop a game and they said that they're going to develop a metaverse. It takes time.
Yeah, because especially a disconnect of them, how quick the NFT market moves versus the gameplay side of it. So they're coming in requesting that, hey, can you build? We have the money, we have the millions of dollars to come and build it. Can you just start it going for us and have it released in 6 months to match our roadmap? No, they can't do that at all. And there's going to be so many games and stuff that come into this marketplace and do that. And that's why you're even like, while we're looking at projects, we look at those ones that are already built and to try to go to those marketplaces or be on those platforms and stuff. So it's important to know which ones, but a lot of these are going to be hold games, especially play to earn. A lot of those are in other countries creating their daily living of how they feed themselves, clothe themselves, everything. So once people, even America and other countries especially, start learning about it, learn the tokenomics, learning you own your assets and everything like that, it'll be a benefit to them coming into the space too. But no, you are very early and you can get positioned really good right now.
Yeah, very good. Very good point. Okay, so that just thought I should say that. That's good stuff. All right, this project, we were looking at this even yesterday. I think the floor on this was at 0.67 or last night. It was literally at 0.67 or 0.67 or 0.73. I can't remember. And it started moving again. So I think we've talked about this particular project for some time. Just you make your decisions as far as if you're staying in this particular project. I think one of the problems again was a drop aspect. There were some things that went on with that, but they seem to be rebounding back. There was some activity coming into this particular project, and like something might be happening. So you make sure you're definitely checking out on Twitter to stay up with this particular project, and then figure out as far as what your target number is going to be if you decide that you want to exit out of this project, because you should definitely be up in profit on this one. Okay.
The virtual super world marketplace. We've been different land, virtual real estate definitely invested in since even this one, 2020 early. So they have released some new information. They're going to do like a heat map where you're going to be able to see the hottest places that are selling on the map now currently. They also have some 3D metaverse and mapping that they're going to be doing, updating with. So we know it's important, especially in the NFT space. A lot of things, if they're not in 3D, they look like their old projects are outdated. And so they definitely want to be current in the things that you're viewing and how you're able to actually go over there and, buy items and sell items. And, we, of course, even with Super World, we love the aspect that, we own one piece of the property, but also over that property, 20,000 people can come build a project over there in any brand, and you're going to still monetize and still make that money. So there's ways that you can monetize it and sell items over there, and they're going to also be releasing more information on that. But like I said, we're still definitely have all the Super World land. We're heavy on a lot of the different stadiums and stuff that it may be. And that's because we know about some of the importance of having some of those pieces. So definitely, if you want to, I know that some of this is going to be happening in June, but there are some updates to the site. And there's also going to be some updates to try to help you with sales and offers. People would be able to give you offers also on those in the right way so that you can even be notified on them. So they're still doing some stuff, still built out early. Harash, of course, they have the Rogue Initiative also, which has their own video recording and moving recording studios that they are working with too. So
he's been very, I think we talked about that on the call last night. He's been like very active in the community, making sure, trying to keep people up to date and trying to keep the project going. And I think that says a lot, when you're in the NFT space, when people are still putting especially when they put their doggone face out there, you'd be like, listen, you just can't come in the NFT space and put your face out there and think people ain't gonna talk about you if you don't.
That's right. And he'll even call you and talk to you. I've talked to him before. Yeah, he'll have the whole discussion with you, let you know the plans and everything that you're doing if you need to get an understanding. So like she's saying, he's putting himself out there. Definitely the face of the project. Also, there's other people that in the behind the scenes that have been working with it, even working with like producers, Bay, who also did like Transformers and stuff like that. And so yeah, if you are interested in it, or just keep an eye on it. If you already have the land, there are some other things that's coming out that's going to be updated to try to make it easier to purchase land, and also be able to see what's selling hot on the map. That way you can know how to price it accordingly. Because don't be pricing stuff for 0.1 that should be at 2-3 ETHs, because you don't know what the other ones around the world are selling for. So you can now be able to compare, pieces like a stadium to a stadium, or
That's gonna be really good.
racetrack to a racetrack. Yeah, that's right. So
we don't need nobody bringing the market numbers down. Look at the numbers before you put it up for sale, and make sure you know what you're selling before you just sell it. So we've seen it happen many times. But no, we still have Super World, so we still like this. We are invested in this particular project. All right, on Vfriends, just make sure, if you're still, listen, we were talking about this last night again on our call. Some of this stuff, you'd be like, how do you put all these pieces together? What exactly, how is this working? What does this actually mean? It's a lot of information as far as trying to, stay in the know of some of these projects that are coming out. So again, Vfriends is definitely, they have a thing you can definitely get signed up for, as far as if you're trying to figure out what's going on with Series 2. They have some information to where you can go on and literally, I think y'all think we'd be like, well, do y'all sign up? We sign up to learn just like everybody else. So that keeps us in the know, because again, that's one of the ways that we're able to go on and find some very good projects also. So again, make sure you're getting signed up for some of these things. And the book games, I think we're talking about this last night. These numbers, on the book games, some of you guys might have bought some of the books, and you have some of the book games NFTs. You got to make your decision on when you want to sell this particular item, but they are at half an ETH right now. So let me just refresh this and see if they still are at half ETH, or did they drop? Let's see here. Some of them dropped to 0.29. So that's the price on some of them. They were 0.29 now. So if you need to sell, if you don't want book games or anything, you still should be in profit, because yesterday some of them were at half an ETH. Okay, so as far as I know, there's going to be a couple snapshots that are being done to see if you won for Series 2, and then you can look at that particular project to see if you still want to either. If you've never invested in it, it's a good project to go into and look at and see if it's something you want to get invested in. Okay, so that's going to be important to look at. All right, that's good.
Vidcon tickets. So yes, I'm still waiting for the prices to come down. I know some are worth it, but I look at them. They probably gonna sell that on tape in about maybe 30 days later or something. No, but no, the experience of some of these things are definitely worth it, depending on what you're looking for. They have a lot of different speakers, and so Gary Vee, since he's in the NFT space and he's one of the ones pushing a lot of these things, even behind the Candy Digital that we're just was talking about. So we know they're going to have some people there. Some of these conferences, we know they may not know a lot, or it may seem like you definitely know more than them. So this one, it may be worth it. I know currently it's probably around $6,000 to buy this ticket, and it's only for this year. I know there are the Vfriends, you get them for the 3 years, so you'll be able to go there. But this one is going to be for this year only, next month in Minneapolis. So if you do choose to come over, it's still time, as far as if you want to let this price go down. As far as everything else, you may have to pay a little more higher, just waiting it out for the airplane tickets or the rooms and stuff like that. But if you do want to go to this, it's still going to be over 30 days until this event does happen. And so you'll definitely probably see either the price going down more for the people that can attend, or even could be going up if people are just really trying to get to it. So there's still 10,000 tickets. And so it just depends on how many people, do you think how many people in the United States are trying to go to those right now? And it may be a lot, it may not be. So you definitely have time on this if you want to wait that out, or if you want to go put some offers, you can do that also.
Yeah. Someone's asking, this is your ticket. If you have this ticket to go in, as far as Overbook, I don't know where they're doing the particular thing, but this is your ticket to get in. So if you don't have the ticket, you ain't getting in. It's period. It is what it is on that. And again, it's going to be May 19th to the 22nd. Let's see how many tickets they have for sale. Let's see here. I don't know by now. So it's 308 that's up for sale. Okay, so 308. So
and everybody probably own two, a little under two maybe, or most people may own two of them, and maybe more depending on the numbers that you are looking at. So that's important to also know. If somebody have like 10 tickets, they don't need them, and if they ain't give them to their family, they're gonna just start lowering the price on making some of those or selling some of those. So But yeah, like I said, lineup is awesome. Definitely have people that's experienced in the space, even building out in the space. But yeah, the price I'm definitely not agreeing with right now. Come on down to an ease. I go offer put in 0.8. So we'll see. Yeah, we'll see though. Definitely doing a lot of major moves.
I think, like I said, they have the lineup that they have is like, whoa, it's like all those people gonna be there. Okay, this might be very interesting. But again, you've got to figure out your numbers on where you're going to be at for this particular project. As far as getting going, if you want to go, because again, I think it's worth going. I definitely think it's worth going. But figure out where your numbers are going to be at on this particular project. Okay. This is that one Snoop had.
Oh yeah, Snoop Dogg issues unreleased music as NFTs on Cardano. There's a lot of different blockchains out there that are coming out or been out, and some people are taking advantage of that. You're trying to see where they're going and dropping their projects at also. And so we know Snoop is everywhere.
Snoop is everywhere. Do we say everywhere? Snoop is everywhere.
He should be a billionaire over there already from the stuff he's done in the last 2 months. I'm just saying, I'm just trying to
figure out who is the team that got him going behind, because they are like they doing. I must say they doing some things.
Definitely,
because Dog, I'm like, what else is Snoop on? What else do we not know?
And every item they put out, it's probably a royalty to it if the platform allows it. So they just getting in and getting set. And so, like if you can get some of the items that seem to be valuable, I mean, either of these were like about $3,000 or so right now. Yeah. So it has passed, and so some people may want to go buy that. I'm not made no move on it or anything. I said, he's everywhere, but some things are more valuable. So it does tell you'll be able to get collectibles, unreleased music, and limited edition. What is that limited edition? What pictures?
Pitches.
Thank you. I was like, I forgot I don't have my glasses on as I start quitting. I'm like, so yeah, and as you can see, they are clay, so they are a different look. They are I believe they were all drawn out or made individually. But like I said, you can do more research on that and look into more of that if that was something you're even looking to pick up. We definitely try to pick up a lot of things at mint price. But if they are on a secondary and we feel like they have value too, you can go ahead and buy it. And so if you haven't bought anything and you may be interested in it, there's of course also you see the Bored Ape there. Just research some more of the project. Like I said, it's $3,200. I'm not necessarily going out and buying it at all, but it's just to show you some of the things that they're still doing and some of the blockchains where they're taking their money to or where they're trying to go make money at also. So
because again, Snoop is, I mean, his team is, they're using that name, but it's working. Like I said, I just hope again, as far as all the different projects, is that he stays engaged in the projects. Because again, I think we've seen that many times where people with the names will come in, they're here today, and then they're on to the next project just for the money grab. And so hopefully they don't get to where it's like that. They really, keep your community. I think when you have the momentum like he has, it's like if he could capitalize on so much stuff just by sticking to what he's doing, and he would make it. I mean, he's already probably made a gazillion. I'm not trying to count his money because I don't need anybody count my money. But at the same time, I'm just sitting there thinking like, wow, that's a brilliant move of what they're doing here. Another brilliant move. They did that. But if they just can keep those communities engaged and keep that circle going, then the sky is completely the limit. It's already unlimited to what he can do already, but it just really, really pushes it to a whole nother level. So
and even for both sides of that, like not to say to go buy this because like I said, he has 10,000 avatar projects also in Sandbox and other things. So you do need to, if you're buying for scarcity or if you're just buying as a fan, of course go buy this and know that that's what you're buying it as. But also if you're looking at it as an investment piece, you also need to know if someone's kind of going everywhere and have everything, the scarcity of some things may not be there. So just know your plan. Like I said, if you're a fan, you may love to have this. You may have every Snoop piece, and now this is the only one you don't have, and you're just literally doing it because you're a fan of them. So make sure you have a plan as far as if it's an investment or if you just love the art or the artist or whoever else may be doing something.
She just saved y'all some money if y'all heard what she said. So that was a very good point. Very good point. All right, just a couple things, just a quick thing on Broncos. Just remember, they do have one of the drops that's going to be ending. It's the one that's $10. It's going to be ending in about 3 hours. As Broncos, again, we still definitely continue to invest in Broncos. I think it's going to be one of those ones early on you're starting in, but the potential down the line of this particular game could be very beneficial. So again, this one's going to end in 3 hours if you've not bought some of these, and then this one's going to be in 1 day. Okay, so just wanted to share that about Blancos again because Blancos is still. I love the graphics on some of their stuff. Now this was a money. This was the money this weekend.
Another, it's just, I'm so proud and happy for them. It
19
shows, you know, I'm gonna
million
say like this.
dollars.
It shows the opportunity that you can do. Like it ain't they fault. All the people bought that, so it's nothing
Don't be
wrong.
talking about us. I bought that
Yeah,
too.
exactly. I bought one because I was like, I didn't see the scarcity, but I plan on buying more on secondary when they come out. So I'm waiting. But as you can see, 19 million was made in a 24-hour probably span on NFTs. Some people bought like 500 or so. Haven't even looked at the closing numbers to see if they went higher. Because I think they closed out yesterday. They might have already been set in what they want. But as you know, some of the paint you get them, and so when you go to Fero World that they're releasing their Metaverse World, you'll be able to get rare items or rare. You're hoping you'll get rare items because depending on how much paint you higher your chances of that. So now though there was like 30,000 sold or so yesterday. So I'm not too sure. They do have the different rarities, but I don't know if that's still going to be 5,000 of this rarity, 1,000 or 3,000 of that rarity. So the drop was definitely successful for the artist, and just even like I say, looking at it from where they've come from start even on Niftygateway on now, being even through, going to the Christie's or Sotheby's, I believe it was being also. And so definitely it's an opportunity in this space. If you even are creative in art and you get your name out there in the right way, you're talking about like $19 million an artist is able to raise in the NFT space just like that. So it's important for artists to understand that it's a different way of making money. You have your royalties and you will forever make money. And so just that is very important to know. So if you have scarce items or even people that are like the community that's behind you like this is the importance of a community. So yeah, you have to pay attention to people like this. Watch them if it's even something that you're thinking about doing. But they definitely $19 million. Congratulations.
I'm like, well, and Maddie with DC Blogger, I mean, like you said, 200. He spent 260,000. I was literally like, okay, I think I could be with the top 50 people to get the thing. I called Jessica. I was like, Jessica, just listen, sis, what do you think about me trying to get in the top 50? I was like, I can get enough to get the top 50. And she was like, well, let's look at it. We talked about it. And I was like, well, let me just watch a little longer to see what's going on. I had convinced my husband too. That was a very good thing. And 50, then I started looking at that thing. I was like, okay, let me because I think let's see. I have it on this screen. Let's see what it was.
I think the top 50 was at 50 at that time.
Yeah, where was it? Dog is don't let you see the top 50. Oh, that was a drawing. So the drawing was a whole nother thing. Let me just see if I can go back real quick. Because when I looked at this thing, I was like, wait a minute. Come on, Nifty, don't.
Oh, ain't no way that thing's staying at 50 only.
It was. Oh, I do not need my MetaMask wallet showing up right now. Let me slide that screen back over. Right here. Here we go. Let's see here. It was this one. Was a third. This
Purple
was
one, yeah.
Yeah. So let's just see where this leaderboard was at.
Or where it closed at, because it should be over.
Oh yeah, where it closed at. Let's see where it closed at. Right here. Because when Maddie was the first one, he came out at 515. I was like, these boys ain't playing. I was like, okay, they because at the beginning, I think the numbers were like that. People had 20, they had 40, and I think some people might have even had 50 of the paintings. But Maddie just came out swinging. Like, let me just show y'all. And he bought 515. I was like, they getting serious over here. But again, I think that for some of them, and I have gone back and forth about, well, are you going to get enough value out of, and who could you sell that particular? I know there's another ton of people who are in NFT space who have the capital, so it's not saying that no one has a capital, but it's going to take that special buyer in order to buy that particular NFT. Because one of the things that kind of made me hesitant about buying was that it all turned into one NFT. And I was like, normally, again, those of us who are in NFT space, it's like you want to have multiple items in case you want to get rid of a couple of the items, you can. But with the way that they explained it, was like it's going to turn into one NFT. I was kind of like, what does that mean? And what does that all entail? But this is that doggone leaderboard. So the number one was 561. And the bottom 50 was 168.
And there's no reason to so let me make it clear. Those ones are probably going to be some of the rarer ones because it's only 50 of them. They did have one that's also 5, was just drawing. But Like when you start seeing that, and one is actually going to be 172. When they have the prices to sell, they're going to be just as much as some of them are going to be $100,000 because that's what they spent. So, and a lot of them may not have plans on actually selling them. And so, in the Faro world, you will be able to get those like the 172. You can get rare items by having some of that many paints. But as you see, as many people has bought and so many.
Yeah.
You don't know how many items are rare or how many items. If they have like 20 different items of different rarities, that's different versus having 3 to 5 items, because of course it would take a lot. It would be a lot more numbers in those. So
yeah.
yeah,
It was interesting because I know even the people who were here on the bottom, the problem they had was that this number at the beginning with like a minute or two left, it was like 130 something, 140 something. And so I think people waited till like the last minute, and they bumped people out of the line. And I was like, I don't even want to get hung up, because like if I'm at 100 and now I got to jump up to 170, I'm paying another $70,000 to try to get in line, and you didn't know. So it was never a clock that restarted, which is, I
we're
get
gonna make sure we know this is about status and clout for the NFT space. I want you to also know that on the leaderboard. So don't just go over here and be like, oh, it's gonna be 100% value. This is really about also them saying who they are, what they have,
top 50,
how they've been here. Yes,
very true.
Yeah, so don't, like, if you look at that, that's exactly what a lot of that is, especially in this space. But you could have went over there and got a couple and tried to get some, but it is a thing about if it's scarcity, like literally for me, it was like good signs but bad signs depending on what I was planning on doing with the project. And so I definitely want access to Faro World. I want to be able to get some things because you don't know what that brings down the line. Mm-hmm. So you took calculated risk of coming in and buying a few. But when the secondary hits, also you feel like you probably could be able to get some, even if somebody put 2 for $1,200 or something. You usually can come in and get some at the price of what they came out for. But especially with there being so many, so we're gonna watch it. Or I'm gonna watch it to see if I want to pick up more on the secondary. But for scarcity, I was a little concerned. Like I was first at saying 6, then went down to 2, then I only got 1, and said I was gonna buy on the secondary. So,
and then this was a drawing.
Everybody their own.
Yep. And then this was a drawing too yesterday. If you entered the drawing for the $1,000, again, it was a great opportunity. If you made it, if you won, obviously it was a very good opportunity for $1,000. Not to say that they're going to get $145,000. I did see this on this one. There was the number one piece that was on here originally, but it looked like they have transferred it off of Niftygateway. So they probably gonna take it somewhere else to try to get paid on that particular.
Get hit by Niftygateway's fees and reports. Shoot, we can report ourselves. We got other stuff maybe in our wallet that'll help gains or losses, man.
But I was like, dog, $1,000. Obviously it's 22,000. That's the highest offer right now. So they paid 1,000 yesterday. It's got a high offer of 22, but they probably know that it's probably gonna end up being a 6-figure day if they decide to go ahead and if someone else keeps coming in to offer. But $145,000. You just got to make your own decision. I was at the NFTLA and I did the paint thing. I did get my goggles painted by Fewocious, so I'm really excited about this. This is all I had for the paint party. They gave us the goggles when we got there, and I was like, okay, I don't have no canvas paint. I don't have nothing. And I was like, could you just paint my goggles? So I did get my goggles painted. So I thought that was pretty cool. But that was actually a good event. Just go in and see as far as what other people were doing in art. And just I didn't tell you, it was funny because we're here in California. There was another guy that was not like far from where we normally are at here in California. And I was like, "You're from where?" He was like, "And you're from where?" I was like, but he was really good. His name was Jeremy. He was actually pretty cool guy. He was actually very gifted with painting too. So it was an opportunity to meet other painters, so you could try to also figure out what other art you could be buying within the space. So again, this is Fewocious. This was a big, $19 million move for the weekend. Not a bad weekend to get paid in the NFT space for the art. Okay. All right, let's keep on moving because we can get stuck there. All right, Murakami, I think so a while back, I think we showed you guys this particular watch right here. It might be a different watch, but that was similar to the one he has on. If you did buy that watch, remember it was a 6-figure watch.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I was like,
it was a 6-figure watch. Listen,
y'all can afford it. We know plenty of y'all that can afford it, so we're not even saying that.
Yeah, because we looked at it, was like, oh yeah, they said they're a 6-figure right now on this watch. But again, they will have an NFT that's going to be dropping too. So if you do on that particular watch, you can go on and get that particular NFT. So it's probably going to be worth some money again, because even the Murakami drops from Clonex has been doing very, very well lately for those of you who had the Murakami traits for the Clonexes. So
and some people go actually care about wearing that watch into the digital world. So it's especially they know how much it costs in the real world. So take advantage of that. You did not, I know, buy this. If you didn't, we put it out there, but I believe they were already gone and for sale. Or you had to do an inquiry and set up an appointment to do it and everything. So it wasn't like you can really walk into a store even in the U.S. to get it. But just seeing, especially people that have a great following already in this space. They even connected to a lot of the artists and stuff like that, and even with Nike. But yeah, it's a great opportunity right now to be getting some of these items and reselling them if you have to flip out of it, or holding it and let the project build out.
Yeah, very good. All right, and then this was the event that's coming up in New York. So in May, going to be a. Go ahead.
And we're waiting on that. Some more information about there may be some private parties for the Clonex or that night or that week. So still waiting on some of that information, but this does go over the galleries, the time that the galleries are having, some of the exhibitions that will be there, some of the work that will also be there. There's been certain clips that's come out in the last couple of days of some of the work that they've done. They're also going to be having things, I believe, like augmented reality that you can view also. But yeah, this is going to be the event. It's going to be there over a month. We are trying to go to the main event that will host the Clonex party as well, if it makes sense. But yeah, that would be if you are in New York or if you want to visit it and see some of this stuff. Also, you can do that because, like I said, it will be over there for the month.
Yep. Someone said the Murakami, the flowers mint. If you had a Clonex that had the Murakami, any of the Murakami traits, you were already able to mint these. They're like $247 is what it costs to mint. And I think
everybody else is waiting.
Everybody else is still waiting.
We did get emails about the registration that came out for the list of people that did register to try to get onto the list to be allowed to rent for the public side. But they sent out emails saying that they're working on that, and they have not released a date or to when we can mint that just yet.
And those are actually going for about $28,000 to $30,000. That's the floor price on the ones for the Murakami flowers. So if you happen to get the mint and you signed up and you happen to get it, I think the number's going to come back down. But at the same time, it's going to be a very good investment for you if you get that one. It's going to be a very good one. Okay.
Feels like a lifetime, but Clonex dropped only 4 months ago. As you say, our team is focused and executing magic daily. We are not even 1% through our insane roadmap. The artifact future is bright, and so. If you already know what's happening and it's been moving just because of tweets and notifications or posts about connections with our partnerships, if that's moving it and you're hearing now that even 1% of the roadmap isn't even done or accomplished, then you're literally sitting pretty. I'm telling you, as long as you can give it the time, you will be happy, especially with not 1% even done.
Sell your airdrops. Try to keep the Clonex. Don't sell if you don't have to sell. Don't sell. But I'm not that financial advisor. I'm just talking to myself out loud. So
you see, it's funny. It says 1 month in NFT equals one lifetime, and it really could. And it really could. I'm telling you that's the truth. It can make you a lifetime of money too. So
it really can.
If you know how to invest.
This one right here. This was cool. I'll move this over.
Oh yes, the on cyber.
This was. I thought I'm gonna try to open it up so without hoping the volume. Got to turn the volume down. It does have music on it, but I thought this was again giving you the ideas of what you can do with your spaces that Artifacts gave you. But I think again, not only this part. I was like, Doc, who designed that? Like, who put all of this into this design? It's actually one of the great ones one of the good ones I've seen. But I know a lot of people also are, as far as people who are in art are actually using theirs to sell their art. So they must have more than one because this is like really cool. Or they're building a club. One of the two.
Some people have built games already, like Unreal Engine, and so it's really amazing some of the things that are going to happen to cross platforms that they're doing. So On Cyber is also going to be releasing news. This is going to be the loot pod that they gave us. That of course it shows you the Nike there and the logo and the different brands that they have, and of course behind that other door we know there's like 7 other doors. So It's just another piece of that real estate. It's really literally going to be virtual land if you consider it like that. And then, like I say, if you can go to Matic, if you can go to Polygon, if you can go to Cardano, if you can go to GoChain, if you can go to all those exchanges from this pod or interact and be able to sell your items to all those exchanges from this pod, I don't think people really see the value or know the value because maybe they don't know, exactly how it's working.
Yeah.
And they only drop so much at a time, but if you can connect all the dots, if you're watching everybody and what they're saying, and like she's saying, you can build out so many different things. You can build out meetings if you have wanted to meet there for work, conferences. You can have different setups, and people can go on the Oculus and be right there in it. And so experience also in the Oculus. Sometimes seeing it like this, you may not even realize how it is immersed into it. But if you also have those Oculus and you can go play with it on cyber site, it'll give you another good feel of how it's actually going to work. And you'll be like, oh, this is pretty cool. And, and it's a younger generation that's generally meeting and doing these things. And for us, even for selling, it's going to be an opportunity. Like you said, it can be an art gallery. It can be the pieces that you want to put in there to sell. So there is definitely a lot of opportunity still with having these pods. It's just so early that people may not know what to do with them.
Yeah. And so I think whether those are still they're at 0.8. So what you just seen on the screen, this is what you actually were seeing, but obviously it has a lot more space in it. But this is what it looks like. Someone is selling those for 0.78. Wow, that's good. Okay. All right, so that's the loot pod again for that. Then we had the space pods, which were also another airdrop. So if you have not bought any of some of these things, as far as artifacts, I'm not your financial advisor, but we do love artifacts and the stuff that they've been doing within the space. So they have. I mean, I think I have one of these. Even this part here with the artifacts thing. This is another one. This is the one that's going to have the burn mechanism, Jessica.
Yes, definitely. Like she's saying, they're going to have a burn mechanism on here that you can upgrade and make your properties bigger. We don't know if that's applied to the space pod or each item that they've already given us, if we can make the loot pod bigger. But it is burnable, which is going to make it more scarce. So even if you see 20,000 here, a lot of people want bigger sizes in real estate, of course. So it's going to make this item more scarce. So if you can come in and get some of these lower priced items from the artifact team, especially when we know there's supposed to be a token that comes out in every item you own, is supposed to get you amount of tokens. So when you can also invest in some of the ones that you're expecting to make good moves because of what they're going to do, and it has that burnable feature to it, you can pick and choose which ones you want to buy that should be safer for you. And like I said, airdrops are important. You get tokens for that, and you can make up the price of just even having to sell your tokens and not your items. And so definitely look at those items that Artifact do have as a whole, the pod, the loot pod, and figure out where it's good for you to come in with your budget that you may want to spend on things. But like she did say, this one is going to be more scarce down the line because it's burnable and it gets you a bigger land in your metaverse.
Good stuff. And we don't know Artifact people. They have not sent us a message to say exactly if they're going to have a coin. We're just reading into the tweets and stuff. So do your own research. And don't be saying we told you to buy something because there's going to be an airdrop. We didn't say that. So just get for the record. But if they do what they've been doing, we will be waiting. Trust me. Okay. And then the last one, as far as the Clonexes, those are still continuing to move up. Again, I think last week, like I said, we were talking about them and they were at 40 something. Let's see where they're at now. Let me just refresh this real quick. They were at 40 something last week. And this week, I don't know why this is taking forever. Here we go. 18.9 is the floor. Let's see where the price is at. They're at 65,000. Okay. 65,000. So if you held an additional week, you made about 15.
And then at that, they were at 21 ETH, so they've been fluctuating between that. So they could have even sold even this weekend as high as like the 21, close to 22 ETH if you wanted to. And it always comes like that. People see the activity going, then they want to go list their item. They're going to go bring the floor back down because the activity's going, and they want to be the first to go. So you're going to always get that.
You'd be like, stop running to the floor. But you understand some people do have to sell. I get that part. Right. But sometimes it'd be like, dog, y'all didn't even have to go that low. It really wasn't necessary. But I guess, if you are a flipper, I guess you would be in panic mode, especially when you start seeing that market coming back down. You'd be like, listen, I just need to get out. So I guess there's different people who are investing into the space that, for some reason, everybody wants to drop it lower than the next person. And again, like I said, maybe they have way more money invested in it, and they're trying to flip in and out of projects, and so they need to get out so that they don't lose all of their money. Understood.
They may have multiples, and they don't care about taking that little bit of loss to be able to sell that one. They had a certain amount they wanted to sell out or get. And that some people do that. I'll be like, I don't want to sell one until it's worth $150,000. And it ain't gonna be a Clonex. It got to be the monolith, and I don't even know if it's gonna be the monolith. I don't even know what. I'm going back to selling a different item now. I can't even sell. You got multiples about multiples, and it's so funny. You're like,
I'm not selling that. So, all right. Well, listen, that is all we have for you all today. Hopefully you've gotten some value out of the information we've been able to put out. Remember, if you do have friends or family, please continue to send them to whatsnfts.com. That is our free Facebook group. Whatsnfts.com. That's our free Facebook group. And then also on our free group, we do have a paid subscription aspect. If you'd like to be a part of our paid subscription, that is available to you also. Otherwise, keep coming on every Tuesday. We'll continue to give you free information as far as what's going on in the NFT space. But if you'd like to dig a little deeper, then join us in our monthly subscription. So, just anything else on your side that you got? Or are you good also?
Oh no, I'm good. I'm waiting for some more announcements to happen. So I'm good. Yeah, thank you guys for joining us. We'd love giving you guys this information, being able to speak about some of the other stuff we've learned in the marketplace. So just excited to come back every week and be here. And whoever's coming by and catching on these videos, hopefully it's definitely helping you, educating you to hopefully come into this space and make some money and some financial freedom and some generational wealth, even for your kids. Like if they was really had these assets you can invest in from age 6 when they planned or even 4, and they actually earning the asset and paying, and you don't even realize that your kids' future, if they were playing these games for the ages 8, 9, 10, and 11, it is a game changer. And if you don't know it yet, you're going to have to find out. But if you can't find out through your own, you'll definitely find out through us.
Yep. All right. You guys have a good one. Thank you guys so much.
Good one.